Hey, you guys, this is Christina. I hope you guys all pop over here. This is Christina with leadsandleverage.com. I'm bringing you another episode of The Ribbit Show. And just to let you know what I just did, which was kind of funny, I accidentally started publishing live on my personal page, and I wondered why I was getting more locals than normal on there. And then I couldn't find this on the business page because I like to look at the comments and stuff. So I just made a big boo-boo and just spread this all out on my business page. It's now deleted off of there. But just so you know, you're going to make mistakes like that, roll with it and bring it all back up, bring everybody back over. So we're starting over. If you are watching this in replay, do me a favor and please comment below. Comment and let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're popping in from. I know you guys are all over the world, but let me know where you are and where you're popping in from. And as usual, I always ask a question of you guys, and usually, sometimes it's random, sometimes it's off the wall, sometimes it's related to the content that I'm sharing. And so here's what we're gonna do. I'm actually gonna ask you a question today related to the content that I'm sharing with you today, that I'm gonna help you with today. So today our topic is, what do you do with email? If you don't know, what do you send, what kind of content do you put out there, things like that, we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you 4 key pieces that you need to help you clarify and solidify what you need to be sending or how to send things like that out to your list or out to your email community. So my question for you guys today is, out of all the email lists or email communities that you are a part of, which one is your favorite? And I'm talking any industry. Like, I'm kind of a Zappos nut, so I like their emails. What are your favorite emails? I know Rebecca, when we were on my personal page by mistake doing this, Rebecca was saying that she really likes Melanie Duncan's. Myra said she likes Ryan Dice's. So who do you like on there? And don't forget to comment and join me. If you're watching this live, thank you so much for joining me. And I really hope that you, both live and replay, that you saw what I just did and learned that lesson from me, so that you don't accidentally do the same thing. I wondered why there were so many locals. I thought, gosh, that's interesting. Why are there so many locals on my live? That was very interesting. So I want to welcome you guys. Thank you for joining me. We're going to hit on these topics or on this topic. I'm going to help you because there's 4 main things that you want to know how or what to send people via email. So welcome, as we're talking everybody back in. Welcome, comment below. Let me know that you're here and tell me what your favorite email list is. That you get emails, whose do you read the most of? You may not read them every day. That's okay, but whose do you read the most of? And one of them that I read a lot of is Brian Harris with Video Fruit. I like Digital Marketers. I like Jeff Walker's. There's a couple others that I really like, but I tend to really want to dive into Brian Harris's with Video Fruit. Whose do you like to want to dive into? Whose do you want to read? And here's the thing. Here's the connection. Why? Is it because they're just throwing information at you, or because you feel like they're having a conversation with you? So that's where we want to go with this. That's where we want to think about. So we're going to talk about basically 4 things, 4 ideas, 4 concepts to keep in mind to help you know what to send people via email. So why email marketing? Well, here's the thing. As an industry, we're not really using email. We're not really leveraging email in a way that we can actually get it to give us conversions, to give us a return, or an ROI. And email, in a sense, is free, although we have to pay for our email marketing systems. Our time costs money. The resources that we give people, the creation of them, they all cost money. So email's free, but not free. But it's very inexpensive to implement. And we really don't do that in the real estate industry. We tend to throw out canned stuff, canned garbage, and we tend to throw that out and call it good. And mostly I think that's because we don't have the right perspective, which is number 1 of the 4 things that I'm going to be talking about here. We don't understand the perspective that we need to have in order to actually leverage email for us. Hey, Lisa. Hi, Myra. Sorry about that. They were both over on my personal page with me. Sorry about that. So one of the questions that I got last week or the week before about email marketing was, what do I email people? The next person said, how do I choose content for my email campaigns? I mean, I send recent blog posts, but what else? And so we're going to talk about this. We're going to go through this and walk through this. So the 4 things. The first one, like I mentioned, alluded to, is perspective. Okay. Here's the perspective. When people get on your list, they're now part of your community. Hey, Connections Week going in and out, refresh your screen. When people join your list, they have made a step forward. They've made a connection with you. They have decided that on some level, could be really small, microscopic, could be bigger. On some level, they have decided to take a step forward in a relationship with you. And here's what I mean by that. If they join your list, you've given them something, you've offered them something, you've opened up their mind, you've taught them something that they now feel, okay, I trust this person with my email address. That's where they start, okay? So, but that email address that you get, that's an individual. That's a real person. And when they join your email list, they're now part of your email community. So our perspective, we need to think about our email list as an actual community of individuals. And we have a hard time with that because we just think throwing out stuff and mass marketing and people on your email list, you want to leverage email, and yes, you want to send things out in bulk at times, but at the same time, they are individuals. People in my email community, they're individual people. They're individual agents. You guys, you're on my list. A lot of you are on my list. And if you're not, I have a link up there so you can see what I do. You're part of my community because you are an individual person that I am trying to help. That I am trying to help you move forward in your business, whatever you want that to look like. And so that's what you need to think when you bring people into your email community. I've shared this before that we have a range when people have connected with us in real estate. We have a range from the person who took the shortest time from when they first connected with us to actually closing, and the person who took the longest amount of time so far from when they actually connected with us to when they actually closed. So that ranges from 2 weeks. We met somebody. Actually, they texted us. It was an online ad. They texted us, and 2 weeks later, they closed on a property. We met somebody, and this person actually sent us an email inquiry. So these are both kind of online. Sent us an email inquiry. 54 months later, they purchased property. So your range is anywhere between 0 and 54 months. For us, it could be longer. And so what do you do? I'm sorry, 54 months. So what do you do? I mean, how do you stay in contact? You're not going to call them every single week. So you want to build layers, and one of those big layers is email marketing, email connections. So think of your perspective needs to change, and that they're individuals, and those individuals make up a community. And what do you do with individuals? Do you just throw information at them, or do you have a conversation with them? You have a conversation with them. They've already made a connection with you and joined your list, your community. How many more connections can you make with them? That means, guys, you need to have some personal pieces, personal elements in your email. We'll talk about that. But its perspective is this is a community of individuals, not an email list. So just be aware of that. You can use the term email list. I have changed from using the term email list to saying email community because it's my community of agents just like you. And it's a community of people that I want to help and I want to serve and I want to bring you guys on your journey. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So number 1 is perspective. Number two, this is a hard one. Well, it's not really a hard one, but people aren't quite sure what to think. They were like, well, I just want to throw out stats because we don't know what to do. Or I want to, somebody, they've been taught in other places to, just to throw out whatever they want that's personal. And that's not good either. So here's the thing. Number 2, you need to be contextual. So contextual, what do I mean by contextual? I mean, you need to think about your community and think about their journey. So what is their journey? Why are they connected with you? Guys, we are not connected with real estate agents so that we can get stats. Do you know why we're not? Or so we can get listings. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do those. Don't take that as a no, I shouldn't be doing those. But that's kind of all we do. That's all we send out. We just send out, well, here's the solds, here's the listeds. Do you want to list? Do you want to buy? Here's a list of listings. That's kind of all we send out. That's not, I mean, those are all available other places. Yes, you want to provide them for your email community, but the real power here is you want to be connected with them through their journey of life. And by life, I mean contextually, how does their journey contextually relate to home ownership? So as they go through different events in their life, how does that relate? What kind of needs do they have? What kind of concerns do they have? What problems do they have about home ownership? Or, selling, buying, all that kind of stuff. And I don't mean always talk about that, but I mean relate to it. Connect it. Okay. So we need to have a perspective that we have a community of individuals. We need to be contextual. So we need to know their journey. We need to think about their journey and what happens along their journey of home ownership from the time, the first moment that they start thinking about home ownership to the last moment and beyond the last moment to when we die. What happens when we have somebody in our family die and we need to deal with the estate? What do we need to do? What are the thoughts? What are the problems that we have to deal with? You can be grace-filled and contextual and helpful. So people say, well, that's morbid to help with death, or that's morbid to help with divorce. It's not if you're in the right perspective as the consumer, as your community. They need help and they don't know where to go. And you're their answer. And that's why you want to be contextual. You want to have a perspective, a community of individuals, and you want to have context. You want to be part of their home ownership journey. All right. I've already alluded to this, the third one. I've already alluded to this quite a bit, but you want to be relevant. And when I'm saying relevant, I'm saying think helping. You want to help them. It doesn't help them to promote your services. Yes, you need to let them know that you're available and you can help them and here's the next steps, but you still need to help them. You need to give. If you're going to deal with people, if you're a senior, an SRES specialist, senior real estate specialist, you know that they deal with downsizing. They deal with getting rid of stuff. They deal with not memory issues, but like, what do I do? These are part of my memories. They deal with perhaps selling a home that's been in their family forever. They deal with moving into assisted living or a retirement community. They deal with death of a spouse. What do I do? How does that relate to what I'm going to buy or sell? And you can relate all that back and help them. Be very graceful, be very compassionate, and help them. They need that. And on the other end, think helping when somebody's coming into owning a home and say they just got engaged and now they're like, well, I don't know. And depending on what market you live in, what community you live in, maybe there's a lot of discouragement for home ownership because of considered, down payments or the price of stuff there. Maybe they are coming out of families that have never owned homes. Who is this person you're trying to help and where are they in this journey? And help them. Help them gain a positive mindset. Help them see the realities of what they need to do and then give them how-tos. So you need to be relevant. So you need to help. You need to help them because that's who they're looking for. They want to know, like, and trust someone. And believe me, when somebody knows, likes, and trusts you, and as long as you don't betray that trust, they're with you for life and they refer everybody to you. And that's the point. That's the point. You want to help. You want to help. You want to help as many people as possible. And that's the goal. So perspective, contextual, relevance. Here's the last one for today. Here's the last one. The last one is relationship. You need to think value, not touch. You need to think help, not touch. So a lot of times when we sign up for these canned email providers things, we're just thinking touch. We're thinking, oh, it's a list. I just need to touch them because I've been told if I just touch my list so many times, I will get, if I touch my list of 50 people, I'll get 2 transactions from it. Now, those statistics work. However, the touch part is the piece that changes everything. If you're just throwing out stuff at people and it's not valuable to them, it's not relevant, it's not contextual, it doesn't progress your relationship, it's not going to help you. Those stats aren't going to work for you. You're not going to fall into those stats. So if you actually want to convert people that are on your list to become face-to-face with you, to come into your closings, to get to the closing table, then guess what? You need to build a relationship with them. And the way you build a relationship is maintain perspective, stay contextual, and be relevant. Think value, not touch. That's the thing. And yeah, you're going to want to get your touches in, but think, okay, how many, because like, what is it? 33 touches for people who already know you, 12 touches for people who don't, the touch and stuff. They need to be relevant. They need to be contextual. They need to be about building that relationship. It's all part of the journey as you're journeying people through their journey of life, their journey of homeownership. And it's amazing. Real estate is such an awesome, awesome industry because we have to live in houses, apartments, condos. We have to live in them, and we live our lives through them, and we surround ourselves with them. We build our families in them. So we have such a great way to help and be contextual through every journey of life. And so that is why email marketing is such a valuable thing that you can leverage as a real estate agent through all of this. Real estate agents really probably have the absolute best way to leverage email, because it's not about just throwing coupons. People, even if you're part of like Groupon or other things like that, do you become numb to those emails because every single day or 2 or 3 times a day you get emails? Well, I just become numb to them and I miss a lot of sales. But that's not what you're going to do, because they're just telling me stuff to sell. Now, their intent is to help me. I don't want to miss out on a deal, but your intent is to help and guide and journey through and journey together, because we all want to know that we're not alone. We all do. So whatever we're dealing with contextually related to our living situation, we want to know that we're not alone. We want to know that we're not crazy. We want to know that, yeah, other people struggle with, or other people have overcome this. So all those things, perspective, context, relevant, and relationship, those are all going to change everything about what you send via email. You're going to send a piece of you, you're going to have a conversation with them, and you're going to send some value somehow, whether it's through your blog post that you've written, whether it's just in the email. Hey, I was out with a client today and they mentioned to me that they're struggling with XYZ. And I thought, I bet you guys might be struggling with this too. And here's what I told my client. Here's how I helped them on this journey. That's how you do that. That's what you do. You can do that. You can do that in blog posts. You can do that in videos like I'm doing this here. Guys, this is a perfect example of, I'm not sending this via email, but it's the same kind of thing. I'm me, I'm personal. I shared with you at the beginning the mistake that I made and what I needed to do to overcome it. And I share with you, I've given you ways to connect with me. You can join my email community. The link is up there or it's here. I've said it a couple times. So it's out there. It's a next step. So if you like what I'm connecting with here, then you can move the next step. There's no force. It's all about your journey of discovery, your journey of finding value, and our journey together of building a know, like, and trust relationship. That's the way email works. That's the way blogging works. That's the way videos work. That's the way Facebook works. That's the way all of this works. Unfortunately, we have skipped over all of this. That's the way it used to work until, of course, Mad Men decided that mass marketing, because, TV came out and people decided that was how you marketed. And at first it worked. And now it doesn't. And so now we need to go back to being, the real estate agent for life. The real estate agent that everybody just refers to because they're in a relationship. The real estate agent that sends the birthday cards. I know that sounds funny, but it's true. And recognizes the anniversaries and the person who's a part of your life. And you can do that on a one-to-many scale. You absolutely can, but we need to go back and have perspective that these are individuals, obviously, and then we can scale it. So, and think of all of that. It's all about building a relationship. It's all about being contextual. It's all about being relevant and helpful. It's all about being a guide for somebody. So, a lot of you guys are on here. I've been talking for a while. Share with me your thoughts. Comment, let me know you're here. Let me know where you're popping in from, where in the world you're at. And my question of the day was actually related to the topic, and most of the time it's not, but it was actually related to the topic. And my question of the day for you is, What's your favorite email list to be on? What's the list that, or the community that you tend to read those emails? Just share that with me in the comments below. I would love that if you would do it. So that's all I have for you today. If you have not seen the future, I got all of next week's Ribbits scheduled. So like tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to get all that lead generation in the time, that little time that we have. Monday, I'm going to talk about how to get more done. It's actually the myth of multitasking. We're going to talk about that. We're going to dive into that. And then on Tuesday, we're going to talk about, is your email marketing dying or dead? Let's revive it. Wednesday's a big one. What happens when a lead source dries up? What do? We're going to talk about that. Thursday, I'm going to show you the all-time perfect lead generation funnel. I am going to show you the perfect one, absolute perfect one. And then on Friday, somebody was saying, I just want to run an ad for $100 and get leads. How do I do that? And I'm going to show you guys that. Talk about all that. Oh, Jenny says, I'm doing what you suggest here. My problem is how to scale this. At some point, you just can't contact everyone separately. Okay, so one of the things that I mentioned at the beginning, I don't know if you were on at the beginning, I am specifically talking about your one-to-many conversations. So your people that you're not doing one-on-one emails to, they're going out to your email community. Think as an individual, think like you're having a conversation with an individual, but send it to many. So that's the thing. So you're not going to email them separately. You're scaling this and sending it out on a list. And you can get a lot more detailed, and you can get a lot more leveraged by once you have 1,000 or more people on your list. We can start going into segmenting and stuff like that. But right now, it's your email community that you are having a conversation on a one-to-many scale, but you're still thinking about them as an individual. That's the key. So that's exactly how you do that, Jenny. It's just having a conversation, just like I'm doing right now. There's a lot of you on here, but I'm talking just to you. But other people feel like I'm talking just to them too. In my emails that I send out every week, it is again to one person, but they go out to thousands and thousands of people. So, but I'm thinking about the individual agent as I'm writing it, and I'm thinking about how things that I've learned that week can help you. So that's what I mean by that. So you can scale that. Absolutely. Deborah K says, I read all your emails and I delete others. Well, that's awesome. Thank you. Any other questions, you guys? Thoughts? That was really good. Thank you for sharing that, Jenny, because that does get confusing. Like, how do I do this? I can't do this. I want to scale. I mean, you can't do that. And which is one of the reasons I really teach not following those one-hit wonders, or those one-offs, as I call them, those silver bullet things that people say, run this ad, it's the perfect ad, and it works for a week, and that's it. That's a big reason why I don't teach that. I teach longevity. Let's see. Deborah K says, I have around 400 leads from 2 years ago from paid home value ads. How would I contact? You know, Deborah, what we would want to do is set you up on what's called a re-engagement campaign. And we'll need to be very careful with that, because you don't have permission to email them any longer, because you have not been emailing them consistently. So what we can do, we can talk about that in the Facebook Domination Secret Powwow on Wednesday. Let me write that one down. Let me write that down, guys. So next Wednesday, Deborah K, at 1 o'clock Pacific, we're going to do the powwow. And we'll talk about a re-engagement campaign. And it's re-engaging people and finding out who might still be interested and bringing them back into your community and letting the rest go. That's really what you need to do. And we're going to do it in a way that's legal, that doesn't get you in trouble, and that people want to reconnect. So we can do that. Any other questions, you guys? Any other thoughts? I love your comments. I love what you share with me. It helps me help you. Love that. You guys are awesome. I'm loving this. I'm loving the Ribbit shows. I'm loving being live with you. Thanks for the likes. I like those too. Lets me know that, yeah, you're resonating with what I'm saying. Helps. Yeah, that's good, you guys. So if you don't have any other questions right now, go ahead and comment below, even if this is in replay. When we finish this, I will connect with you after. Watch this, let me know, and I hope to see you over the next several days and all the different Ribbit shows we have for you guys. Talk to you later.